think who I voted for would be the best to take care of Trump. Because Trump is, I'm sorry to say, an ass, and he shouldn't even be president of the United States. But because he is, we need a strong person so that we could stand strong.
Canadians voted, and Mark Carney's Liberal Party held on to power with another minority government after years of Trudeau's policies. High housing costs, stagnant wages, and endless and unrelenting immigration. So then Canadians chose Carney, a former Goldman Sachs banker, governor of the Bank of England, and a guy who advised and urged on Trudeau through his endless chaos. Put simply, same globalist playbook, shinier suit. At the same time, during the Canadian election, US President Donald Trump repeatedly suggested Canada join the US as the 51st state, which obviously and significantly influenced the campaign. On election day, Trump posted on Truth Social urging Canadians to vote for a candidate who would best facilitate this merger, claiming it would halve taxes, boost military power, and quadruple business growth in sectors like cars and energy. He described the US-Canada border as artificial and Canada as a beautiful landmass. Throughout the campaign, Trump's threats of annexation and economic pressure through tariffs framed Canada's sovereignty as a key issue, which boosted the faux nationalism that the Trudeau government had almost completely stamped out, thus boosting support for Mark Carney's Liberal Party, which won the election, while the Conservative Party, led by Pierre Poilievre, lost ground and even his own seat, partly due to his perceived alignment with Trump-style populism. Sorry for the brief interruption, but I'd like to draw your attention to some cool, new, and classic designs over on my shop. It helps the channel very much, and with a wide variety of designs, I'm pretty sure you'll find something that you'll like. Link to find them is in the description, and a very hearty thank you in advance. Canada is not doing well. Housing prices have soared with Toronto and Vancouver out of reach for most, and wages haven't kept up, which has been labeled a productivity crisis by economists. Immigration levels are breaking the country, which even was admitted by the former Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, who himself created the destruction being wrought upon the country currently. For my part, and I will be honest, I used to make excuses. I blamed organizations like the media and big tech, or believed that the system was rigged for urban elites, but the truth's much uglier and now undeniable. Too many Canadians are either wedded to their self-image of being better than Americans or are simply ignorant. Boomers glued to the CBC, trembling at Trump's 51st state taunts, convinced them that Carney was their savior and the savior of the formerly Great White North. Every candidate and party was pitching the same scam: endless immigration, condos for foreign investors, while locals can't even afford a one-bedroom apartment. Carney's promises: build 500,000 homes in 10 years, cap temporary workers, and also, of course, throw $150 million at the CBC. All of the very few thinking people that still exist in Canada, well, they understand the real plan. Flood the market with cheap labor, screw the working and what's left of the middle class, and then plunder the nation. Carney's not here to fix Canada. He's Trudeau 2.0, polished and ready to sell the country out like the good WEF minion that he is. And it's not just Canada. Many believe that the entirety of the West has entered into a suicide pact and are now all in a race to the bottom. Also, many have finally come to see that democracy is a sham, finally. Plato, the great philosopher, for his part, did warn us about handing power over to the mob. And when that mob, the Canadian mob that is made up of half boomers who think Carney's saving the nation from the diabolical supervillain Trump, and many of the newcomers are voting for their cousins and their cousins and their cousins to join them in Canada, what do you get? A country where Alberta votes Conservative, wall to wall, but get stuck with liberal rule because 3 cities, Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, call the shots. And as the dust settles, what do we get? Well, yet again, Alberta's muttering secession, fed up with being ignored. Some are fleeing to Poland or Japan or anywhere but the sinking ship that is Canada. Others say voting's done, the system's rigged, and the only way out is collapse or American annexation. Everyone with a singular wit saw this coming. COVID exposed the sheep-like nature of Canadians with 85% vaxxed, no questions asked. And Trudeau, glorious, wonderful Trudeau, well, he won 3 elections on dude weed and his luxuriant hair. The trucker protests did spark some hope, but this election was the test, and the country failed that test hard. Canadians, with their grandiose sense of moral superiority over their southern neighbors, was just more important to them than even attempting to fix the dumpster fire that the country has become. And in reality, Mark Carney's minority government is fragile, relying on smaller parties to pass any laws. Trump's 25% tariffs are hitting hard. Canadian businesses are struggling, and that cute Buy Canadian hashtag, yeah, that's not saving anyone. Some analysts suggest Trump's 51st state pitch, lower taxes, no tariffs, U.S. protection, could start appealing to Canadians feeling the economic pinch, and thus Canada's failing economy could stumble the post-national state right into the arms of Uncle Sam. I don't know if it's despair or clarity, but I'm done believing in next time. Canada has long ceased being a nation. It's an economic zone, and more importantly, it's a warning to the rest of the Western world. Canadians' future is being chosen for them by bankers, bureaucrats, and the former governor of the Bank of England, as well as a mob that is too scared or too clueless to even attempt to vote for a government that aligns with their own self-interests. I would say wake up, Canada, or don't, but don't say you didn't see it coming. Perhaps it's too late already, so you might as well enjoy your slumber before the nightmare that Canadians have been sleepwalking toward finally catches up with them. So what do you think? Did Trump troll Canadians into unwittingly choosing leadership that will so damage the country as to make joining the U.S. inevitable? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up on your way out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.